What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Was it Thursday now? Yeah, happy Thursday to you all, and welcome to another live beer review. Today we're going to be taking a look at another beer from a local brewery here within the Chicagoland area. Of course, we got one here from Phase 3 Brewing Company called the Seamless Pattern. It's an American IPA brewed with Vic's Secret, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops, coming in at a 6.5% ABV. And of course, I would say American IPAs aren't really like my go-to style of IPA, but I definitely do enjoy them from time to time. So we're going to take a look at this one, and I really like what Phase 3 does with a lot of their beers. They do some fantastic stuff over there. Of course, I had a few of their stouts. I've had a few of their other kind of like IPAs and stuff like that. So they're doing some really cool stuff over there. And this one, we're going to see if this kind of just leads on to making some good beers. So this is the label for the Seamless Pattern, which I think is cool. Of course, you saw my Instagram. You saw the label already. I think it's pretty dope looking. I like the colors. But yeah, what I saw from the hops they had in here, of course, Amarillo hops was a great hops used for bittering. Of course, it has a really, really kind of like high alpha acid content to it. So when it comes to being a bittering agent for beers, it's a great thing to use in the beginning of the boil because, of course, when you're brewing beer, you're most likely going to dial in your bitterness in the beginning of the boil. So most likely there was like a first word hop addition of maybe the Amarillo, and then maybe like early boils when you're kind of adding more of the Amarillo. Probably if it's like I would say this is a 90-minute boil, maybe 60-90-minute boil, that of course probably within like the 30 or the 45-minute mark is where you're kind of dialing in your bitterness. So of course that's when the Amarillo comes in. Of course it definitely does bring in a little bit more of like some citrusy aromas. It actually brings in more orangish and like flavors and aromas instead of the whole citrusy grapefruit kind of situation, which I think is a really nice twist when it comes to an IPA. So I'm pretty excited to give this one a try. Of course, Vic's Secret and Simcoe is another great hop to just combine together and always make a pretty solid beer. But of course, American IPAs always have that little bit more of the like herbal kind of situation going there. Definitely more of like a piney kind of situation. Of course, they still like to bring in a lot of those like maybe a little bit of citrusy flavors that the hops produce, but you're kind of getting more of like a drier, it's not going to be anything like your normal kind of New England hazy IPA, anything like that. So I think it's time for us to crack this thing open and see what it's all about. So 6.5%, of course, this would definitely be something on my regimen of being something that's sessionable. So let's crack this thing open, see what we get on the nose, and see what this thing's all about. Yeah, definitely a little bit of citrus coming through. Definitely more of an orange kind of. It gives me like an orange rind kind of note in there. Definitely not as much as like just like an orange juice kind of situation. It's definitely more of like the orange peel / orange rind kind of note in there. But expecting this to be pretty light, pretty not really too crazy. I'm assuming there's going to be a predominant bitterness. Of course, American IPAs usually have a predominant bitterness to them, of course, but I'm not expecting really any hazy kind of color. I'm not really expecting any kind of like super juicy kind of mouthfeel to it. I'm just expecting this to be a pretty solid, nice, just American IPA. And of course, I can't be drinking a Phase 3 beer without using my Phase 3 Brewing Company glass this afternoon. So let's pour this guy and see what it's all about. Definitely a nice little bit of a head to it. Not really crazy with anything like haziness. Let that kind of settle for a bit. Of course, lately I've been starting to kind of pour my beers a little bit heavier just so I can get more of a head on them, so I can get a little bit more of the aromas. It definitely seems like a little bit of a hazy guy, but to me I would consider this more murky than hazy. So this is definitely has a nice kind of color to it, definitely lighter. So definitely has a nice head. Yes, definitely getting a little bit more of that, like a little pine coming out a little bit more. Definitely getting that orange note still coming through. Really, really nice. Yeah, this smells absolutely delicious. Definitely loving the aromas coming good out from this one. It's just, I think this is just going to be a light, super solid, easy drinking American IPA. And I'm not really expecting anything much from that. So let's give this guy a try and see what it's all about. So, cheers, everybody. Happy Thursday. Yeah, it's delicious. Definitely upfront bitterness is definitely what you get. So it's bitter upfront. Definitely has a dryness that lingers on the palate. A little bit of sweetness coming through, but definitely getting that little bit more of like a herbal kind of piney kind of of hoppiness that coming through a little bit more. But there's definitely still a little bit of like citrusiness in there. But in my opinion, it's definitely more upfront, dry, piney than you would expect. So if you're not a fan of those kind of IPAs, this is most likely something that's not going to be for you. But I think the flavors are nice. The dryness is definitely something that I would expect out of an American IPA, so I'm definitely happy that that's there. But overall, flavors are pretty solid in this one. It's not like it's going to be my go-to kind of style of IPA, but for just trying something a little bit different every once in a while, this is definitely a nice change of pace. So let's look over here at Untapped, since we do all this in these reviews, and let's take a look at what we can find similar to this guy. Of course, this is an interesting similar beers list for this one, just because, well, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are from another brewery here in the Chicagoland area called Hop Butcher for the World, and I don't know if I'm really going to list off any of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my beer history and see if we can find a little bit of a easier kind of narrowing down, because if you're using Untapped through the browser, you can go into your beer history and all that well, you could do that through when you're on your phone as well, but I'm going to go through my beer history. So this one is labeled IPA American. So we're going to go under IPA American through the filter. Where is it? There we are. And let's see what we can find that's similar. Yeah, I would definitely... Okay, so when it comes to bitterness, I definitely put this on the realm of being something similar to maybe like the Snaggletooth Bandana from Solemn Oath. The Keller Haze from Sun King. Let's see. What else do we got here? The Hoptometries on here from Tapestry Brewing in Michigan. We got Wheezin' the Juice that's on here under an American IPA from Grand Armory. Moe's IPA from Arclight. What else do we got? The Blind Pig from Russian River. I would definitely put this in the similar kind of characteristics as the Blind Pig. People are putting let's see. I don't know if I'd put this similar to the Voodoo Ranger Agent 77. I don't know if I'd put it like that. But maybe I could definitely see this one being a little bit of a lighter version of the Pupil from Societe. We got the Cashmere Hero from Revolution. Of course, we got other breweries like Block 15, Tripping Animals, Noon Whistle, Dungeon Hollow. Let's see, Interboro, Half Day, Liquid Love, Anchorage, of course, with their Team Dog and Team Cat kind of situation. Of course, I definitely put this in the realm of being something similar that you would get from the Things We Don't Say line of beers that a bunch of breweries took part in for that situation they did there. Yeah, I'd probably put this into something you would expect from the Lagunitas, like the Stereohopic kind of things. But yeah, there's definitely an American IPA is definitely a very, very common style of an IPA out there. Of course, yeah, this is definitely one that I put in the category of being similar to the Broken Skull IPA from El Segundo as well. So there's definitely a lot of breweries out there that are making this kind of style. Like, to me, it's probably the most common style of IPA just because it's the American IPA. It's what this country is known for when they think of hops. They think of just your upfront bitterness. You definitely get a little bit more of those pioneer notes, but then we still get a little bit of fruitiness and maybe a little bit of the malts kind of kicking in with a little bit of sweetness. But overall, yeah, there's a bunch of breweries out there that have great options for an American IPA. Of course, here in Illinois, like I said, Solemn Oath. Of course, us over at Fibs, we make some good American IPAs over there. If you're in Michigan, you got Tapestry that makes some good stuff. Of course, Russian River with the Blind Pig. Let's see, Societe. There's a bunch of breweries out there that are making some really, really solid American IPAs. But when it comes to similar to this one, I'd definitely put this on the realm of being the most similar to, I would say close to the Blind Pig, but I would also say it's close to if you have ever had the Things We Don't Say series of beers from a bunch of breweries around the country when they had that project going on. I think it was like 2 years ago or something by now. Yeah, so okay, it's about a year ago, but that's what I would probably put this one in the realm of being similar to that. So, yeah, overall, pretty good similar beers list on this one. I don't know if I'd look at the Untapped one to be the similar beers list to be solid with this one, just because there's 4 beers from Hop Butcher on there, and of course they show verified locations, popular locations that sell stuff from Phase 3 due to them being an online brewery. I think they do distribute out of the state. Don't kind of quote me on that because I'm 100% sure, but they're definitely a brewery that I see pretty commonly around the Chicagoland area, and who knows, they might have some distribution within like Wisconsin, maybe Indiana, Iowa, maybe down to St. Louis if you're lucky. I don't know, but looking back here at Untapped, their description of this beer is pretty simple. It's an American IPA with Vic Secret, Simcoe, and Amarillo hops. States right here at the 6.5% ABV, which I stated before that this would definitely be something that I would put in my realm of being sessionable due to it being under that 7.5 kind of realm that my cutoff usually is. So yeah, definitely could see maybe having 2 or 3 of these and still feeling pretty good. But with over 488 ratings, this one has an average rating of 3.84 out of 5, which is pretty good. Pretty damn good. But let's look here at my friends list to see if anybody on my friends list checked this one in. Of course, we got a few people, my uncle, who checks things in on Untapped, but he doesn't really give it ratings. What he does is he checks stuff in just to kind of give himself a catalog of beers that he's had before. So if he wants to try something new, he can make sure that he's trying something new. We got my father who checked this one in, gave it a 3.75 out of 5, which is pretty reasonable, I would say. So yeah, 3.75 for him. So that's it on my friends list. But let's see what people are saying on the global ratings for this guy. So it looks like this is on tap at some places. I don't know where he had it on tap, but he gave it a 3.25 out of 5. Let's see. This person gave it a 4 out of 5. Purchased at Maple Malt Gardens, which is in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Let's see what else we got here. This person gave it a full 5 out of 5. Purchased at the Open Bottle Tinley Park, which is a place a little bit south of me. So it looks like it's kind of like a beer store / beer bar situation. This person gave it a 3 out of 5, saying solid classic APA American Pale Ale. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. 3.75. This person didn't give it a rating. Another 3.75. 3.75 here. I guess people were getting this stuff in their advent calendars, which is pretty cool. So this looks like it was an advent calendar kind of check-in. It looks like for, I don't know, maybe there's a specific Chicagoland area advent calendar that was going around. I keep telling myself to get a beer advent calendar to do during on the holidays. I just keep on forgetting about it, and by the time I end up thinking about it, it's too late because you're already halfway through December, and I'm like, God damn it. So let's do 2 more. This person gave it a 4. Just saying hashtag Phase 3 Brewing, purchased at the Lakeview Beer, Wine, and Spirits in Chicago, Illinois. And the last one we're going to look at here is a 3.75 out of 5. So yeah, overall, pretty decent check-ins. I like that this is actually showing up in advent calendars, which is really cool. So, I don't know, maybe we should... I need to set a reminder for myself to start looking into advent calendars around like November or something. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, Ian, I'm not going to do a review of my own beer because it's going to be very biased. I may do like a show and tell kind of situation to where I'll do a video and kind of just explaining about everything about it and how it came to be and everything like that. Might do something like that. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm not going to be going back into work until probably sometime around the beginning of the year, so I won't be able to go in there and grab myself a crowler of it, even though yesterday I just drank a crowler I brought home because my dad was sick when we did the release, so he wasn't able to try it, so I brought one home for me and him to split and just have him try it finally. He really liked it, so I was happy about that. But yeah, I might do something on the channel, kind of giving like a little bit of show and tell. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I'm going to do a review on it just because it's going to be biased because it's my beer, so... But I'll probably do some kind of show and tell on the channel about it. Who knows? But overall, pretty good. Yeah, there's definitely people I want to send it out to just to kind of get their thoughts on. So I'm going to be working on that once I get back into work and start doing stuff like that. With all that being said, let's start trying to figure out what we're going to be doing for ratings over here at our end with this guy. Since we already looked over everything on tap, it's time to do our ratings and stuff. So let me pour a little bit more into it. See if I can fit the rest of it. I don't think I'll be able to. I might be able to. We're cutting it close. There we go. So yeah, first thing we like to look at here is can art. And definitely this is something in the category of being really simple. I really like that they just did a really big image up front. I like the colors of like the purple and orange on there. I like the holographic on there because it reminds you of a giant hop, like a hop bud on there. But it definitely reminds me of something to be really simple. Even though I like the colors, I like the design up front. I wish they did a little bit more when it comes to detail and marketing with this guy, just because I think if this is something that you want to have somebody catch their attention with when they see it at a liquor store or bottle shop, sure, this big image is fine. This makes you look at it and be like, what's this? But maybe having a little bit more detail in there might have made it look a little bit better. To me, this just looks safe in the realm of being can art, even though I like Phase 3's logo with the bird on the side and the triangle. That's always something I'm a big fan of. And they just, your average stuff on a label. You got picture, you got the name of the beer with the hops in there right at the bottom. And overall, yeah, it's just a nice, simple label. I'm not really going to give it too high of a rating. This might be something that I would actually miss. Sure, I'd look at it for a second, but it'd probably be something that I'd go past if I saw it at a liquor store or bottle shop, just because I think it's just a little bit too plain and a little bit safe for me. So I'm going to give it I'll give it a 3 out of 5 for can art. Not too bad, but it's definitely not like my favorite when it comes to all the can art that I've seen. Okay, yeah. I'll probably do something on it, Ian. Don't worry. But let's see here. If I got this beer in a flight over at Phase 3 Brewing Company, would I get another one? To be honest, I probably would. I'd probably have maybe like one more of these, but I think I'd be okay with just having 2 and then working over to something else, maybe like a hazy, or maybe changing up my palate a little bit with just an imperial stout or something if it's the right season, everything like that. It might, yeah. This is definitely one of those. I'd have 2 of these and then be done with it for the rest of the day. To be honest, it's good. Don't get me wrong. I love the citrusy flavors a little bit. Well, not a little bit. I like the citrusy flavors. I like the pininess. I like the bitterness up front. Definitely lets you know that's a nice American IPA. But yeah, it's just a nice solid American IPA. There's nothing really groundbreaking with this one, so I wasn't expecting anything groundbreaking with it. It's just a very, very nice solid beer. So with that being said, I think I'm going to give this one for final ratings, I'm going to give it a very solid 7 out of 10. Yeah, I think it's good. Definitely something that if you're a fan of American IPAs, or you're more of your bitter / piney IPAs with a little bit of like citrusiness, a little bit of a fruitiness in there, but nothing too crazy when it comes to fruitiness, this will definitely be something that you would enjoy. So if you're in the Chicagoland area and want your opportunity to pick up some stuff from Phase 3, and if you might be able to find this one available at liquor stores or bottle shops still, go ahead and do so. I think it's a nice solid pickup. But whoa, where are these hiccups come from? Okay, I think we're good. But other than that, let's see here. I think that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. That's what I got for you guys today. So thank you, everybody in chat, for hanging out. You guys are awesome. If you haven't yet, please hit that like button. It will help me out a lot. Also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well, along with that notification bell. It'll let you know whenever I go live doing a review. I got reviews planned for you for pretty much the rest of this week. Earlier this week, I didn't have any reviews coming out because I was just busy doing some stuff around the house and just running errands most of the days, so didn't really have time to do reviews then. But have some, because I'm going to be snowed in, because we're supposed to be getting a good amount of snow between this evening and tomorrow, so I'll probably be snowed in for the weekend. I think we're about to be getting hit pretty hard here, who knows. But it's starting to we have snow on the ground, the roads are starting to look a little iffy. But, so yeah, I'll definitely have reviews coming out for the next couple days for you guys, so keep it out for those. Of course, you could always follow me on my Instagram if you want to see what's going to be reviewed that day. Plus, you'll see behind-the-scenes stuff that I'm doing over at the brewery. And then, of course, you can always shoot me a friend request on Untappd itself. You guys hear me talk about Untappd all the time. It's a fantastic platform. I think I like to call it Facebook for beer drinkers, because that's pretty much what it is to me. So, if you want to shoot me your friend request on Untappd, the link to my profile is down in the description below. But, of course, I always recommend the best way to help support me do what I do, besides just coming on and watching these reviews, is to get yourself over to my Patreon and help me join over there. It's a good small group of people over there. It's a good group of people. But I do monthly 4-pack giveaways of Illinois exclusive craft beer over there as well, so you have the opportunity to win over there if you join. And, of course, let's see here. I'm planning on doing some other stuff over there as well when it comes to snow. We get about 4 inches in South Missouri. So, oh yeah, yeah, I hear you, man. But yeah, if you want to help me over my Patreon, of course, I'm doing some other stuff, planning some other stuff over on the Patreon as well. When it comes to a little behind the scenes stuff, maybe a new beer release, possibly down the road that will eventually happen. On Patreon will be the first place to see that. And of course, I'm working on some other things, little big giveaways with different content creators, plus maybe working with some other breweries to get giveaways out to you guys as well. So if you want to take advantage of all of that, head over to the Patreon. The link to that is down in the description below as well. But yeah, I think that is pretty much it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you again, everybody, for hanging out today. You guys are awesome. Thank you, everybody in chat, for chilling. You guys are great. And thank you, everybody, who's going to be watching the replay as well. You guys are fantastic. And I'm ending this like I always do before we get the hell out of here. If you're going to drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive. And I'll see y'all next time. Cheers.